Hi, this is Penny from Wacko Witch Astrology, and today I'm here to talk to you about numerology, which is the study of numbers and letters. Now, the study of letters reveals a lot to us about our word choices. There are words that mean the same thing but are spelled differently and they sound differently, and numerology is the perfect example for why we do that with our word choice, with our diction. So, this also explains the influence and the meaning of names, whether it be our personal name or our business name. So, keep in mind when you are naming your business or perhaps choosing a new name for yourself or anything like that, that numerology plays a big role. And, you know, it's all in our heads. Which, if it's all in our heads, then perhaps it's not real. Or perhaps it's even more real because the psychological influences that we have create the world around us. So that's why the study of letters is so important. And that's why you should continue to watch this video about the letter S. This double ended, snake looking letter, which understands the contrast between the physical and the spiritual so much, and understands how those two worlds mirror each other, but at the same time are very different, because S is perhaps the most spiritual letter, which is why the word spiritual starts with the letter S. It is also the 19th letter of the alphabet. But let's take a little bit longer to just explore the way the letter S is shaped. It has this amazing curvy shape, which I just find so interesting because it's almost an infinity sign. It would be an infinity sign if you copied it and flipped it and just added the other ends of it. But I feel the fact that it's missing certain parts of the infinity sign are really what reveal a lot about it. And the letter S, even it being so spiritual, it is stuck here in our physical world. And I feel like people whose names start with the letter S might really understand that. Now, a list of names we have are Sarah, Samantha, Susan, Sabrina, Susie, and Sandra. For men, we have Sam, Samuel, Sean, and Sterling. Words that start with the letter S include words like snake, survive, secret, symbol, surveillance, see, symphony, sonogram, satellite. So a lot of things that we're using to view things, as with the word surveillance and sonogram and satellite. Seduce and sassy. Now, the word sassy is really interesting because it has 3 S's in it. That's a lot of S's. So it's almost, kind of counterproductive. But it's a very confusing word. What does it actually mean to be sassy? Leave in the comments below if you feel you have any idea of what it means to be sassy. It's almost an excuse, a substitute for another word, I would say. So, the phrase, as above, so below, is very relevant to the letter S. But I think people whose names start with the letter S really understand that there's something missing in that phrase. They understand that not everything is a complete mirror, because in our heads, we tend to be stuck in the past a lot. But in the physical world, we're all stuck in the future because all we have is the future. Things are going to keep moving forward in the physical world, but a lot of times, psychologically, it feels like everything's moving backwards. People get stuck in the past and they keep recreating the past within the future when they're not able to move on from it. So people, these spiritually minded people, they are aware that there's only so much that we can see and only so much that we can understand. And wisdom, no matter how much we value it, and no matter how much we strive to acquire more wisdom and understanding of the world around us, it's really limited. And what we can know is really limited. And nothing's ever going to be quite perfect the way we want it to be. So these people are oftentimes perfectionists that are very frustrated with things. And they'll be like this even from a young age. You know, they'll be these perfectionists where nothing's ever quite perfect. And I feel like it's everything from their crafts and their hobbies and their clothing and, you know, their toys and the way everything is, and even their own physical appearance. They're like, they might be like, wow, well, I'm good looking, but I'm not quite the way that I want to look. And they notice all these things, and they might feel like, oh my gosh, everything always looks better in my head. Like everything just looks better in my head, and I can never make it look as good as I want it to look when I bring it out into the physical plane. And, you know, maybe they're very artistic and they're very creative, but just nothing comes out the way they want it to come out, and they get frustrated with it. So then they have to accept, wow, nothing is perfect. And over time, they become more content with that. They become more at peace with this idea. But they still kind of understand this idealistic perception, you know, that it's something we strive for, that it's something that everyone is always looking for. And perfection's kind of this elusive concept that seduces us because we can never quite reach it. So we always have these limited perspectives here on earth. And, you know, the way we imagine things within our minds and the way we experience things on a spiritual level is always going to be so much more powerful than the way we experience them physically. And a lot of times that can be kind of heartbreaking, and that can be kind of devastating. And the kind of psychic prowess of people whose names start with the letter S, a lot of times it can just feel like it's frustrating, like it's for no good, like it feels like there's nothing good that you can really do with it. And a lot of times you might wish that you weren't so stuck in your head. You know, stuck is probably a good word for those of us who are very spiritually minded as well, because we could feel that we're stuck in the realm of spirituality. So, we only know the past, and we only experience the future. The future is all we have to experience, and yet the past is all we know. And to bring what is in our heads out into the world of the physical, it never quite looks the way we thought it would look. And things a lot of times don't go as expected. You know, even when we had all the knowledge and all the information that we needed in order to propel us forward, still nature happens, things get tangled up, things get added in, you know, other people or other forces of nature aside from ourselves, because we too are a force of nature. Other forces of nature will join in and add something as well. And you have to some extent, be a free spirit, and not just a spirit, but specifically a free one, and be able to go with that. And once you're able to go with that and let things be and let the energy flow, then you will see things moving more smoothly in your life. You will see the things you want starting to manifest. And that's what the letter S can teach us. That things are more perfect when we let go and we let nature run its course. Because if there's anything we know, it's that, yes, our initiative and our inspiration and our desire to live and our desire to thrive, that's what's going to get our head up out of the ground. That's what's going to make us start to grow as if we were a plant. But then it's everything else around us, everything else we learn, everything else we are able to require, all the things we don't have control over, like the sunlight and the nutrients in the soil. It's all of these things that will allow us to really become our best selves. It's the things we don't have control over that allow us to become our best selves, and perhaps that brings us beyond perfection. Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, and if you would like to get a reading, you can check out my website. I will put the link in the description, and make sure you're subscribed. There's a red button and you should probably hit it. So yeah, I would love to see you again. Subscribe to my channel. Bye.